So in this section, we are going to discuss about types of maintenance. So this is also a very important one. Types of maintenance. So we are having the 4 types of maintenances. So first one is the corrective type of maintenance. So maintaining the control over day-to-day functions. So this corrective maintenance deals with the repair of faults or defects found in day-to-day system functions. So whenever we are looking at the day-to-day functions due to some wrong design, wrong logic, and if you are not written proper test cases, so these are done in the system. So these are identified by the user. So these corrective maintenance will be taken place because of the errors or faults identified by the user. What could be the error report is given by the user. According to this user reports, the corrective maintenance will be done. For example, whenever the printer is printing more number of lines, so instead of the user requirement, instead of printing the based on the user's specified requirement number of lines, it is printing more number of lines. So you can set the number of lines in the printer device to limit the number of lines. That is a temporary solution we are going to give, but not we are giving a long term solution for the printer device to make the printing of the limited number of lines. So this kind of faults, this kind of maintenance are taken place in the corrective. The temporary solutions will be given in the corrective maintenance. So mainly the corrective maintenance is based on completely a user given bug reports. So what the user feedback has been given, based on that the corrective maintenance will be. Next one is adaptive maintenance. So adaptive maintenance means maintaining control over system modifications. So meaning that whenever the business environment will change, whenever some hardware, we are getting some hardware for the cheaper cost, or some tools are giving the more effective performance, so we need to modify in our system some of the elements. So like as I said, so in these situations we need to do our whole system modifications. This is not based on the user requirements. Okay, so you can see in the second point, adaptive maintenance is the implementation of changes in a part of the system which has been affected by a change that occurred in some other part of the system. Adaptive maintenance consists of adapting software to changes in the environment, such as the hardware or the operating system. The term environment in this context refers to the conditions and the influences which act from outside on the system. For example, business rules, work patterns, and government policies have a significant impact on the software system. So here the main effect on the adaptive maintenance is with the changes are making a cause of change on the system due to the external sources. So what those external sources means, business rules, business context may change, work patterns may change, and government policies may change. These are having a significant impact on the system maintenance. So due to the changes of these external resources causing the modifications of the existing system, this kind of maintenance is called as adaptive maintenance. Next one is perfective maintenance, perfecting existing acceptable functions. So in this perfective maintenance type, when it will be called as a perfective maintenance means we are having some existing functions. So those existing functions has to be work or execute with more performance, and whatever the system we are having, that could be have a more reliable. So without faults, you want to make some of the perfection in the system. To improve the performance, to improve the reliability, to provide more security, you are doing some modifications. So here the user changes are identified, bug reports are not required. So here to improve some functionalities or some parameters of the system, you are doing the maintenance. So this kind of maintenance is called as a perfective maintenance. So perfective maintenance involves making functional enhancements to the system in addition to the activities to increase the system's performance, even when the changes have not been suggested by faults. There is no change suggested. The performance change need to be change is not suggested by the user or by the system, but we as a developer observed that there is some lack of performance is there in the system, so I have to improve this performance. So that is the reason we are making the perfective maintenance. So just the vocabulary sense here itself, perfective means, so we are making that existing function more perfective. Okay, so more reliable, more secured, more more secured, more performance, more reliable. So like that, you have to more effective of your system. You're doing the maintenance. So this kind of maintenance is called as a perfective maintenance. Last one is a preventive maintenance. So this preventive maintenance means prevention. So before reach to that fault, what kind of precautions we need to be taken. So prevention is better than cure. Okay, so prevention is better than cure. So after identifying the faults and you need to do the maintenance, instead of doing that, first initially itself we have to anticipate what the faults are going to be occurred in the future. We need to be estimate. So based on that, our estimation, we need to take some precautions, just like a exception handling. If that particular type of exception is going to be rise, so we are going to write some handler program. So whenever that particular exception is rising, the handler will handle that error, and it will do the further process of continuation of your program execution. So similarly here also in the preventive maintenance, so in future what kind of faults are going to be taken place, or else we are having some faults at present, there is their impact is negligible, but in the future the little faults, whatever the faults we are assuming at this point of time, it is a little amount of impact. In the future the fault may be more very severe in the future. So for that we need to be estimate, and we need to take some precautions to eliminate the fault occurrence in the near future. So this kind of maintenance to identify the and to anticipate the future faults, and to make the faults which are not having at present a significant impact, but in future it may cause more severity on the system performance. So these kind of faults are going to be maintained. This kind of maintenance is called as preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance involves performing activities to prevent the occurrence of errors. It tends to reduce the software complexity, thereby improving program understandability and increasing software maintainability. It comprises documentation, updating, code optimization, and code restructuring. Documentation updating involves modifying the documents affected by the changes in order to correspond to the present state of the system. Code optimization involves modifying the programs for faster execution or efficient use of storage space. Code restructuring involves transforming the program structure for reducing the complexity in source code and making it easier to understand. Okay, so finally we can come to some conclusion that a preventive means you want to make a more effective. So the code may be more effective, the design may be more effective, your documentation may be more effective. Okay, so you're anticipating, so due to this one something is going to be happen. Okay, or else you yourself want to make a more performance, you want to increase the system performance. So at this time the performance is low, it is not having that much of impact on the system, but whenever the number of users are increases, the system performance may be very low in the near futures. So that we are anticipating at present, and we are taking some precautions to avoid the near future fault. Okay, so this kind of maintenance is called as preventive maintenance. So if you see in this slide, this pie chart is representing what could be the percentage of each type of maintenance type. So if you observe here, adaptive is taking the 25%, corrective is 21%, and preventive is 4%, perfective is 50%. So majority of the maintenance is taking is perfective maintenance, and less amount of time is less amount of percentage is for preventive. Okay, so most of the software products will not have a focus on the preventive, but they are having a focus on adaptive, corrective, and perfective, more over on perfective. Okay, so this pie chart is giving the what kind of distribution of maintenance effort among all these four types of maintenance. Thank you.